Hello, this is the network service of the NTA. Welcome to Venice at 10 on NTA News 24. We're reaching you live from Abuja, Nigeria's capital. I am Musbah and Wahab with the news. The headlines. Federal government launches youth empowerment scheme geared towards sustenance of Nigeria's economy. COVID-19 vaccination, 35 states and the FCT commence phase 2. Nigerian Air Force inducts the US-made Super Tucano A-29 into its order of battle. Plus, JAMB cancels a unified cut-off mark for candidates seeking admission. Thanks a lot for staying tuned in to the news. We're starting from the political scene as President Muhammadu Buhari has formally thrown his weight behind Senator Andy Uba, candidate of the Governing All Progressives Congress, APC, for the November 6 Anambra governorship election, urging the people to rally around him in the greater interest of the state. This was when he granted audience to the APC candidate at the State House. State House correspondent Adam Musambo reports.
APC candidate for the forthcoming Anambra governorship election, Senator Andy Uba, formally received the governing party's flag from President Muhammadu Buhari. Senator Andy Uba was accompanied to the State House by the chairman, APC caretaker, and extraordinary convention planning committee, and governor of Yobe State, Mai Malabuni, and members of the Presidential Campaign Council for the Anambra governorship election, led by the Imo State Governor, Hope Uzodimma. President Muhammadu Buhari described as gladdening the emergence of Senator Andy Uba as the APC flag bearer for the election and promised him necessary support within the limits of the law.
I'm particularly happy today because I know how steadfast Andy has been, and I formally welcome you with great pleasure for winning the candidature, to participate as a gubernatorial candidate of your state. I certainly wish you the best of luck, and I will very closely continue to follow you. I'm anxious for your success.
Both the chairman of the APC caretaker and extraordinary convention planning committee and that of the Presidential Campaign Council expressed absolute confidence in the ability of the governing party to win the Anambra governorship election.
Your Excellency, Anambra used to be our weakest link, but it may interest you to note that since after concluding our primaries, we've been receiving new entrants into the party. Anambra is ripe for us to win because we are doing our best to ensure that all the leaders are working together to ensure that APC succeeds at the end of the day.
Mr. President, we have a good product. We've done our homework very well. We've converted so far majority of the political class in Anambra State into believing our story. In fact, most people that joined us today joined us because they believe in your integrity and they believe that working with you, Nigeria will be better. Your name has opened many doors for us. By the grace of God, we will come out very successful, and they will not betray the confidence reposed on us by the party.
Speaking to newsmen shortly after, the APC candidate, Senator Andy Uba, described the presidential endorsement of his candidacy as a fulfilling moral booster and indeed reassuring.
I was surprised at the endorsement of Mr. President. What he said to me today came from his heart. Everybody was shocked at what he said. He said, I've been looking forward to seeing you, looking forward to working with you, and I wish you well. I'll be following you so that at the end, Anambra will be APC state. I was shocked at that.
The Anambra governorship election comes up on Saturday, November 6, 2021. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
And still on Anambra State politics, 6 members of the Anambra State House of Assembly on the platform of the All Progressives Grand Alliance, Abuja, have defected to the All Progressives Congress APC. Chairman, APC Caretaker and Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee and Yobe State Governor Mai Malabuni received the lawmakers in Abuja. Salihu Abdullahi Guanara reports.
The lawmakers were immediately presented with the APC flag at the end of a strategic meeting held behind closed doors. Chairman, APC Caretaker and Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee, Governor Mai Malabuni, restated the party's determination to win the Anambra governorship election, hence the zeal in engaging critical stakeholders in Anambra State.
As it is said, the season that promised good harvest can be known from its winter. So by mere looking at what is happening, especially now that the state assembly members have started joining, you know, the grassroots is moving. Anambra is moving into APC.
And the Southeast people have woken up and they were committed to making sure that our people will join the national politics and be part and parcel of the project Nigeria.
We just have to come out en masse, support the party in the center. We've got to link ourselves to the national grid.
We're not just representing the grassroots, we are the root of the grass.
Because when you nourish the roots, the grass is taken care of. The election is going to be very smooth, free, and fair.
The brief ceremony held at Imo State Governor's Lodge was attended by top members of the party, including governors of Lagos, Osun, Kogi, and Imo States. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi Guanara, NTA News.
Away from politics, President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed Nigeria's former appreciation to the outgoing Tunisian ambassador to Nigeria, Jalil Trabelsi, for what he calls the deep love shown for the country during his tour of duty. This was when the envoy paid him a farewell visit in Abuja. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has the reports.
Before his tour of duty as Tunisian ambassador to Nigeria lasting 5 years, Ambassador Jalil Trabelsi worked in the country as an officer for 5 years. President Muhammadu Buhari thanked the envoy for his genuine love for Nigeria and Nigerians. He assured him that he can count on Nigeria's goodwill for himself, his family, and indeed his country. As the president puts it during the closed-door engagement, "You have identified with us so much, and I wish you a successful tour wherever you are posted to next." The outgoing ambassador had told the president that he insisted on waiting till he had an audience with him before leaving so that he could personally express gratitude to a man he admired and to a people he loved. He explained that he has enjoyed every bit of the 10-year period he spent in Nigeria. The envoy said Nigeria and Tunisia have excellent relations dating back in history. The beneficial relations, he said, has been further strengthened in the past 5 years, during which many agreements were signed. While expressing gratitude for the support extended to him, Ambassador Jalil Trabelsi maintains that Tunisia will always support and promote Nigeria. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
Another youth empowerment scheme called Nigeria Jubilee Fellows Program has been launched. The new program, launched by President Muhammadu Buhari, is aimed at providing a critical pathway for young Nigerians to gain relevant skills and work experience in top-tier organizations, as well as build the right network so as sustaining the upward trajectory of Nigeria's economy. Again, State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has the reports.
Under the Nigeria Jubilee Fellows Program, 20,000 talented young Nigerian graduates will be provided work placement opportunities in private and public sector organizations across Nigeria. The jobs, to last for 12 months, will be fully paid towards improving employability and helping beneficiaries prepare for their future careers and work environments.
I truly believe it is a beneficial program that will provide the candidates with the right opportunities to develop their careers and increase the talent pool of the nation.
President Muhammadu Buhari, who is still basking in the euphoria of the 5% Nigeria's GDP growth, the highest in 6 years, believes that building the right skills and experiences in critical economic sectors, which the Nigeria Jubilee Fellows Program seeks to achieve, will go a long way towards sustaining the nation's economic growth.
The program will build on other efforts of the government to support young Nigerians, such as the 75 billion youth fund, which was created to support young Nigerians in business or with business ideas. The Nigerian Jubilee Fellow Program, being a fully paid post-NYSC work placement program for Nigerians, will provide an opportunity for mentors who are already engaged in various industries and have gained relevant experience and build capacity over the years to provide mentorship and support for the young Nigerians that will be on the program.
The program, he said, could not have come at a better time than now, when global economies have been battered by the COVID-19 pandemic, with loss of jobs and opportunities being one of its significant impacts.
We believe that as this program creates new opportunities for 20,000 recent graduates annually, the beneficiaries will maximize the opportunities presented to them and maximize their 12 months of engagement on the program. I will encourage all eligible Nigerians to apply for this program. I also urge private sector organizations in Nigeria to join us on this program to provide work placement opportunities, mentors, and funding to support the program.
During the launch, messages of goodwill were presented by representatives of the United Nations Development Program, European Union, and the United Nations Resident Coordinator.
Nigerian youths are known globally as pace setters, not only as they highly skilled and educated, but also as innovative entrepreneurs.
I look forward to seeing this inspiring young talent of this country leverage this program to enhance their competency and contribute to the growth and development of Nigeria.
We stand ready to assist Nigeria in keeping the young as an asset, not turning them into a liability.
The Nigeria Jubilee Fellows Program, a vital initiative by the federal government, is supported by UNDP and the European Union. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Away from the State House, the Nigeria Economic Sustainability Plan has given birth to the Guaranteed Offtake Scheme, which is one of the tracks of the MSME Survivor Fund Scheme. Minister of State, Industry, Trade and Investments, Mariam Katagum, says the scheme plans to offtake products from 100,000 MSMEs across the country. Benny Adams reports.
The program is building on the successes recorded in the implementation of the other tracks of the scheme and in line with the plan to fully rejuvenate the economy, with focus on MSMEs in the manufacturing sector. Chairman of the steering committee of the scheme, Mariam Katagum, says the federal government is rolling out the last component of the survival fund, known as the Guaranteed Offtake Scheme. It is an intervention to assist small and growing businesses affected by the pandemic.
These include face masks, hand sanitizers, liquid soaps, disinfectants and processed foods such as gari, palm oil, groundnut oil, and so on.
Under the payroll support scheme, 459,334 individuals benefited across 36 states and the FCT, out of which 43% are female-owned businesses and 3% people with special needs. While the Artisan and Transport Scheme, with an initial target of 333,000, artisans and transport beneficiaries have 293,336 successful beneficiaries across 36 states and the FCT. Others are the CAC Formalization Support Scheme, with 244,162 small and growing enterprises registered for free, in addition to the General MSMEs Grant Scheme, with 82,491 beneficiaries to date.
we have successfully disbursed 56,842,780,000 to 1,079,323 beneficiaries.
The PDO call center will be available from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Mondays through Fridays. And the number for the PDO call center is 0704 00500.
The latter scheme is giving preference to products produced in sufficient volumes in each state, which has proven propensity to create jobs and have a multiplier effect on the surrounding economy. In Abuja, Benny Adams, NTA News.
This is the news at 10 on NTA News 24. Up ahead. Vice President Osinbajo reassures Nigerian children of access to basic education. Visit more when we return. Thanks a lot for staying tuned in to the news. The government is trying to solve the challenges of micro, small and medium enterprises in order to transform them into engines for job creation. How this can be achieved is the focus of a Development Bank of Nigeria's annual lecture 2021 held virtually. Moplang Dakok reports.
The Development Bank of Nigeria's annual lecture series is one of the ways the bank engages stakeholders to search for solutions and influence policies aimed at addressing the constraints faced by micro, small and medium enterprises as the world tries to recover from the shocks of COVID-19 on global economy. The critical issue of access to funds still took center stage.
The Development Bank of Nigeria will continue to work towards building the capacity of small businesses to ensure that we eliminate the financing constraints faced by this critical sector.
Why is DBN interested in MSMEs, you may ask? It is simple, because big things have small beginnings. And according to the International Council for Small Businesses, formal and informal MSMEs make up over 90% of all businesses.
The panelists believe that with COVID-19, the need for technology is even more critical as Nigeria struggles with efficient power supply to boost MSMEs.
We can also look at it to enable healthcare and how we export healthcare, fitness, wellness, as well as our manufacturing and exports and service businesses.
People are all coming together, trying to see if we can find solutions for how we can create a bigger middle class and how we can support the growth of a wide range of enterprises.
The virtual economic development conversation ended with the goal of tackling issues affecting MSMEs and finding innovative ways in which the sector can adapt during periods of uncertainties. In Abuja, Moplang Dakok, NTA News.
Now to education, as the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board says there will be no unified cut-off mark for candidates seeking admission into tertiary institutions for the 2021-2022 academic session. This decision was reached at the policy meeting on admission to tertiary institutions held virtually at the board's headquarters in Abuja. Olayin Kaujo reports.
This 2021 virtual policy meeting is with a twist, with heads of tertiary institutions in the country. And the decision to take here is that which will determine the fate of more than 1.4 million candidates.
For degree awarding, let us approve what they have said.
For the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAM, whatever minimum cutoff mark an institution accepts is okay with the board. But no institution is allowed to admit candidates below their submission.
Let's approve for all of them what they have. Since it's not going to be the last score, But everybody, before you can start admission, you must have disclosed your minimum.
For institutions that offer admission to candidates without the use of the Central Admission Processing System (CAPS), a sanction awaits them.
I have directed JAM to bring forward for appropriate sanctions the list of all institutions involved in the violation of the directive. Heads of such institutions will be held personally responsible, either in or even if they are currently out of office.
The meeting, however, agreed that admissions into public tertiary institutions must have ended by the end of January 2022, while that of private tertiary institutions will be at the end of March. Olainka Ojo, NTA News.
Okay, that was a development from the JAM. Now to speak further on cancellation of unified court of marks for admission into tertiary institutions is Professor Asham Musa. He is the immediate past Dean, Faculty of Education, University of Abuja. Thanks a lot for joining us, Prof.
Thank you very much.
Now, what do you have to say about this new policy? Do you have any idea what might have compelled JAM to take this decision?
Well, I think this is not a new thing. Even in the previous years, universities were requested to fix their own cut-off marks, and the cut-off marks were also varied according to courses, and that was what was used for the admission. So for JAM to say they don't have a unified cut-off mark nationally is also another step of giving the universities their autonomy. I only hope that the various senates of the universities will be up to the games to ensure that heads of universities do not contravene. These must be arrived as part of the Senate decision, as part of Senate consideration of whatever should be the cutoff mark for every program and in every faculty. And if this is adhered, then definitely it has taken another step forward in ensuring university autonomy. Thank you.
All right, thanks a lot, Prof. Now, this seems contradicting now. JAM is allowing universities to have their individual autonomy or a decision to take on whether to admit students or not. Now, what will be the essence of JAM if universities are allowed to just carry on and admit students?
This will ensure that students who are admitted do not block other students in other universities where they are not going to be, registered.
Now, how healthy is this for Nigeria's education system? Now that we're having various cut-off marks peculiar to each of the universities, polytechnics, or colleges of education, as the case may be, do you think this will help the quality that we are aiming?
Well, and that was why I emphasized the role of the various academic boards in colleges of education, academic boards in polytechnic, and the university senates. It is the Senate that will control standards. It is the Senate that controls quality. And that is why I feel the senates must be up to their games to ensure that they ensure that candidates who applied, and of course the cutoff mark would be, fixed based on certain variables. For example, how many people applied to read that program? If you have more than enough, why would you lower the grades or the score in order to accommodate the weak ones? You must heighten it in order to ensure that only the best get into the program.
Now, as an educationist, what should be universities' major prerequisites for admission now?
Well, globally, your O-level is very important. And I can assure you, those who go abroad to read do not write any JAM. They base their admission based on their performance in O-level. And I think the O-level will still remain very important and relevant here. And like I said, well, it might question the existence or the continued practice of JAM matriculation examination. Maybe with time, JAM would only be reduced to clearinghouse, that if you are admitting based on whatever criteria, whether it is your, like we always have the post-UTME examination by the various institutions, whether that will be the criteria plus your O-level, and then JAM will be there to control that nobody gets more than one admission at a time to ensure that people who desires to read and not block unnecessarily.
All right, now you've used this word clearinghouse consistently now this morning. Are you suggesting the cancellation of UTME?
Well, I'm not suggesting, but what has just played out shows that UTME doesn't seem to have any role again, because they said you can admit with whatever score you want, just fix. So, like somebody gave an example, if in a program nobody applied and you have somebody who scored 2% out of the 400, you have nothing to say than to admit that person. And so I would want to say that even if the UTME exam would persist, it can only be there to moderate, but it's not the final reason for admission.
Professor, thank you very much for your time this morning on the news.
You're welcome.
It's Professor Asha Musa, the immediate past Dean, Faculty of Education, University of Abuja. Now moving on, Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo says no Nigerian child will be behind or denied access to basic education. This was at the National Dialogue Forum on the Girl Child in Nigeria with the theme Towards a Girl-Friendly Nigeria, organized by the Women Arise for Change initiative in collaboration with the African Child Policy Forum, Ethiopia. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
Ika was agreed to become his second wife, and I was just 9 years old.
She may be young, but 15-years-old Victoria Solomon, at her age, has a truckload of experiences that touched her heart and what she has faced as a girl child growing up in Nigeria. With tears rolling down her eyes, she recounts some of these ordeals.
The younger sister took her.
She's not alone, as so many other girls across the African continent are victims.
Some of them are worried, a lot of them have dropped out of school.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo declared the dialogue open, says everyone should be involved as the problems are many facing women and adolescent girls.
So it's very important that the states and local governments ensure that there are gender-responsive measures, that ensure that they implement gender-responsive measures that will transform the education systems and address the barriers that inhibit girl-child education. And all of this must be done very actively by the states.
Delving into what government is doing towards addressing these challenges, the Vice President says these government programs targeted at both women and girls will bring back hope.
And we are committed to ensuring that these initiatives happen, and to all young girls, and I want to say, to all young girls across the country, I would like to let you know that we understand the difficulties that many of you are going through. The mere fact that one is a victim does not mean that all hopes are lost, or that all hope is lost. As a matter of fact, it's very important to emphasize that despite being victims, you have every opportunity to do better in life and to make a great success of yourselves.
We need to continue engaging in multi-sectoral collaboration between ministries to ensure progressive realization and immediate protection of girls. Creating a safe Nigeria for all girls where they meaningfully participate in governance.
So investment in girls does not require economic wealth of a country or economic prosperity.
Well, there is no doubt the African leaders are taking steps towards ensuring that the girl child receive better education, better life. But what participants are saying is that they need to initiate programs that will make the girl child participation an integral part of their policy making. In Abuja, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of Visual Impressions on NTA. I am Umar Mohammed. Impasto came into existence in the 17th century when painters such as Rembrandt, Franz Hals, and Diego Velázquez used it skillfully and minutely to work impastos to depict lines and wrinkled skins or the sparkle of elaborately crafted armor and rich jewelry. But today, a lot of artists and painters are craftily using it to work on their paintings. One of such artists is Ajene. His painting has a depth feel which makes it look three-dimensional. Please, let's all take a look. Ajene Isegbe, a multidimensional visual artist who studied sculpture at the prestigious Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria. Upon his graduation in 1984, he went into full-time studio practice and has been actively painting till date. He has also been commissioned for several works of art within and outside the shores of Nigeria. He has participated in a number of exhibitions. He recently held his first solo exhibition at Third Pyramid Art Center with the theme Time and Chant, with over 80 pieces of sculptures, paintings, and drawings.
Jene has really undergone a lot of metamorphosis from a sculptor to a multi-dimensional artist, where he has proven himself that he's a living legend. Okay, his portraitures are very unique, partially created with a particular technique called impasto, which he has used effectively in his portraits because of his sculptural background. He has this way of loading paints into his paintings, so it's an impasto technique. And also, he's been able to use his primary colors effectively, absolutely. And with his cobelineal forms, he has been able to interpret his themes very, very well.
This is about protection of children and defense of child social life, child abuse. If you look at the rules that and the size of the human figures in the composition, and this is, a reflection of what we term as child abuse. And then the figures of the symbol of legal skill and all this you see there are for the defense of child rights. You understand? So I try to use this painting to discourage, over-laboring and underage child. That is what this painting is all about. It is a feeling, even if the child is not showing because of fears of torture, you can see that they are all weeping. These are tears, they are not sweat. So it's an expression of pains and bitterness that underage children go through when they over-labor them. That is what I have expressed in this painting. And this painting was done quite for some time, 2015. So I've been preserving it for a day like this, that it should be showcased for the public. This sculpture here is an expression of the feelings of the Chibok girls' mothers. You can see the weeping face. See this curve here represent the veiling of the cultural costume of the people around that area. And then the eyes looking downward is feeling so shy about the circumstances that she was exposed to from the experience of some of those girls who were virgin and taken away prematurely into unknown destinations. So the bitterness is like an assault to giving title to themes of art. We try to be as versatile as possible. Let the title represent an interpretation of every individual who comes across a piece of art. I call this twisted judgment because the generality of the judgment and the government, explanation to people concerning, the Chibok experience is very unsatisfactory to a lot of people. So this one now is not particularly a judge in the court per se, but it's a judgment of the conscience. That's what it represents. And if you see the expression on his face, he's wearing the wig representing the law. The wig here represents the law. The frowning on the face is a decision that he has taken against his wish. That is why it is titled Twisted Judgment.
The usage of the line to make statements marvelous, and I'm so happy for him, because all what he's trying to do is to pass a message. And you know, as an artist, the art that comes from the inner mind is different from the art of carrying somebody's picture to put and draw. For me, I don't look at those things as being creative, because already the original person is being made by God. But like this your own creativity, what comes into mind, your thoughts, and the presentation of itself, the rendition. So it's what marvels me.
This is an expression of love. It is a direct composition. When you see people coming together in embrace like this, it portrays either a reconciliation or an expression of love or unity. And it is reflective of what is every good-hearted desire to have the world united. So there is something that is peculiar to this painting that I experimented. If you look at the surface of this painting, it has some kind of textures, and there is a kind of material that unifies all the colors, even though the colors are appearing faintly behind a very common brownish effect. It is to unify these colors in line with the theme of the painting. So the painting is simply unity, love, and togetherness.
Right from when I was a child, I've been watching him draw, make sculptures, mold and all of that. And he actually has a passion for it. And we've really been waiting for this day when he will do his solo exhibition. And I think most of his artworks are missing. So we're like, okay, pick a day and do this before they buy them all. Because when I say missing, I mean they've been bought. We've been waiting for a day like this when he would showcase his work.
Husband and wife, first experience. All of them are looking up to expectations of what will come out of what the experience of the pregnant wife. You know, what is special about this work to me as an artist is the method of execution of the work. I did not use brush. I used palette to give it some sculptural effect, to give it a motif, to give it a relief, and to give emphasis to the effect of the work.
The theme of the exhibition, which says time and chance. Well, I'm a Christian and I believe so much in time because the Bible says, for everything under the sun there's a time and season. Time to cry, time to unite, time to fight, time to eat, time to sleep, time to live, time to die. So they have done a very great job here and I'm really impressed.
painting here is about royalty. This is the queen, and that is the king. All the figures in these compositions are entertainers, creating amusement and entertainment to adore the royalty. So it takes careful observation to see the activities of the figures that are used in expressing this composition. So it is all about the adoration of the palace life, the adoration of the king and the queen, entertaining them, creating amusement for them so that they should be able to have peace, happiness all the time to look after their kingdom.
Mr. Jenner's works, they're mind-blowing. The work is so fantastic. You know, this work can meet any international exhibition.
We made a compilation of 3 artists in diaspora who have raised the bar of creativity by expressing their diverse experiences of culture and identity in their works. The trio are Yinka Shonibari, Osarentin Ehosa Henry, and Kaide Wiley. Please enjoy. Yinka Shonibari is a British-Nigerian artist living in the United Kingdom. His work explores cultural identity, colonialism, and post-colonialism with the contemporary context of globalization. Because he has a physical disability that paralyzes one side of his body, Shonibari uses assistants to make works under his direction, operating himself as a conceptual artist. The hallmark of his art is the brightly colored Ankara fabric he uses.
I make my work is that I start from sketches, or I also start from research. If there are issues I'm particularly concerned about, then look for ways of representing those. But then the actual making of them, I have a studio in which I work with different craftspeople. When I was at college here, you know, I had a lot of interest in international politics, and I basically was making work at that time about what was going on in Russia at Perestroika. And one of my teachers said, but you're of African origin, aren't you? Why aren't you producing authentic African art? And it was actually at that point I started to use the fabric in my work, because I felt that the story of the fabric is very interesting.
Osarentin Ehosa Henry is a multiple award-winning artist who was born in Edo State. He trained at the famous art school, Auchi Polytechnic, Edo State. His sense of creativity never diminished in his chosen creative path as he continued to practice his craft. He won Life in My City art competition in 2013, and he was also the winner of the Spanish painting competition in 2011. Osarentin Ehosa Henry has been practicing as a painter and sculptor. His technique captures the actual appearance of his subjects composed into a space in a visually arresting manner. He relocated to the United States, where he has had 2 solo exhibitions to his credit and a number of group exhibitions.
When I'm painting, I feel so much alive. I feel as if I'm at the top of the world, because art is my life, it's my tradition. Apart from painting on canvas, I usually go into painting on wall, both interior and exterior. When I'm not painting, I listen to music, or I go outside for sightseeing to gather references. I get my inspiration from my day-to-day life that I normally come across and experience in my locality.
Kehinde Wiley, a New York-based visual artist who is better known for his highly naturalistic paintings of African Americans, is of Yoruba descent through his father, and his mother is an African American. He has firmly situated himself within art history's portrait painting traditions. He was the first black artist to paint an official portrait of a U.S. president. He was commissioned by the Smithsonian National Portrait Gallery to paint a portrait of former President Barack Obama in 2017. His works engages the science and techniques of the heroic, powerful, majestic, and is sublime in his representations of urban, black and brown men found throughout the world. In 2018, Kehinde was included in Time magazine's 100 most influential people in the world.
Artists are people who occupy different spaces, and I think a lot of us, not only artists, but people of color, know what it means to code switch. Being able to occupy multiple spaces, in a way, exemplifies where America is. The conflicting twin narratives that can be at once appalling and beguiling exist in all of us, and I think that's part of what my work is about.
What I was always struck by whenever I saw his portraits was the degree to which they challenged our conventional views of power and privilege.
Historically, portraiture has always been about saying yes to things that we want to celebrate. A society saying, who are the people that we collectively want to honor? And particularly with a presidential portrait, this is the highest aspect of that tradition. And it's been an extraordinary honor to be able to participate.
My name is Jonas Schwarz-Laustin. I'm the co-owner of Nordic Hotels in Nigeria. I would like to endorse Visual Impressions. I think you should keep watching it. It's a fantastic program. Cheers to that.
The sudden outbreak of the coronavirus, which has transformed into a worldwide pandemic, posing as a serious threat to human life and the core essence of Nigeria as a nation. There was an exhibition which was recently held at Dreamhouse Art Gallery with the theme, United in Pandemic and United as a Nation. The purpose of the exhibition was to highlight the artistic version of expressions in the fight against the coronavirus pandemic by beautiful strokes of brush and canvas.
People were predicting how the pandemic would hit us. They predicted doom, but then you see, we're able to gather here together. If it was a doom case, we would not be here together, right? Great. Also, united as a nation, Nigeria has spent 60 years, all of us together, despite the ongoing protests, people talking about ending SARS and all of that, and people lamenting about the government. We see that we're still moving as a nation and we're doing good.
painting titled Make a Move. You can see a young boy with a basket full of tomato. He doesn't move out to this actual spot, hustle, or look for any other business. We just stay. If you are in one place, people will not recognize you.
This painting is titled Focus because there's a determination for it. Basically, what inspired me about the painting was I was having some issues before now with painting itself. Painting a real face, I was doing more of abstract. As you can see, I use this blue, a Chinese painting that is called the Blue Woman. That was the first face with the same title, Focus. So I've stayed focused for long. Let me put it into reality. This thing that I've been dreaming about, let me bring it out to the world. That's how come about the painting itself.
In the painting, you can see a 1,000 notes, a face, and different hands. It all means the problem we are facing right now. Our youth, everybody are after money. The way and the level of pursuing money in Nigeria is out of hand. We commit so many crimes, evils, just to make money. And the worst part of it, our parents don't ask questions how we make that money. We all celebrate people who are rich. If you go to social media, they celebrate evil instead of good. People will tell you, don't work hard, you should work smart. Does that mean in the next generation, there is nothing like education? Since we don't work hard, you just come out of school, you join Yahoo or join all sorts of evil just to make money. So now, like the old saying that says in church, the money is the root of all evil. We are the people that create money. So how do we allow that small tiny paper to rule over us?
The works here are very interesting, very colorful. There's actually, I haven't seen any work that I can connect with. I can connect to virtually every work, but this one actually stands out because it's very vibrant, and the title as well, Fear of the Unknown. That's actually how the world is now today with the pandemic, in relation to the theme of the exhibition, Fear of the Unknown. So it's a very remarkable exhibition, very interesting works, real conversational art pieces, and the ambience as well is very relaxing, very homely, and it's an exhibition that I would like more people to come out to see.
But I saw one just at the entrance as we were coming in, and it was like the root of a tree that has been cut. And now the interesting thing wasn't that the tree was cut. The tree jumped out at whoever is looking at this, and it had a little shoot coming out. And I see that and I think, okay, this could be likened to Nigeria. Whatever has happened to us, there's always that ray of hope somewhere that there could always be a new beginning. There's hope for a better future. And when I saw that little shoot, you can miss it if you're looking at the painting, because you're looking at the roots that has been cut and the roots really looking at you, shooting out at you. So you may miss that little growth at the tip of that tree. And I thought it was absolutely amazing.
Collector is not even an artist by specialization, but out of interest and her love for art, she decided to go into this, which is wonderful, which is great, and I'm happy as an artist to see a non-artist in this regard.
So my mom has a civil service background and feels that you must be employable. They are not of the school of thought that one can employ themselves, but you can't blame them. That generation, a lot of them were public servants, right? So she will always be like, who is going to employ you? Nobody. How can you study finance in school? Where would they employ you? Nobody. No. And so my mom filled in quantity surveying for me, and that's what I went ahead to study in school.
When they go with the idea that they want to study art, the parents will say, are you mad? We are talking of law. We are talking of anything to do with medical, doctors. We want medical, we want engineers, and you are talking of art. Forgetting that without art, you can't even read other subjects. So when you read art, you are opened, and you can do better. You can see better. The artist is everywhere.
You can see the creativity of the work that has been done. It's just ingenious, some of the materials that they have used to put some of this artwork together. It's really great, and we should encourage them. Yeah, there's a lot to do. And all you have to do is allow your mind to roam around, create something. Some of the materials that have been created here, they are created from scratch. They're unique. I'm Haja Zainab Shamsuna Ahmed. I watch Visual Impressions, and I urge everyone to keep watching Visual Impressions. Very nice program.
Those artists have effectively communicated to us aesthetically and purposefully too. I hope you enjoyed every bit of our outing today. So keep a date with us next week on the same station and at the same time. I am Omar Mohammed, and I'm going to say bye for now.
From dusk to dawn, 24 hours a day, NTA International is with you in your living room, office, everywhere and anywhere. We provide the company you desire in terms of balanced and up-to-date news, programs and the best of entertainment. Tune in to DSTV channel 251, GoTV channel 91, Freeview UK channel 264, or you can download www.visiontv.co.uk. App for iOS or Android. You can also see us on Facebook and YouTube for quality content on the go. NTA International, Africa's window to the world.
I never get this kind of thing, or I hear it.
Somebody called me that there is a form that people are filling. I should go and fill.
Then I went there, she gave me one, I filled the form.
We are 3 in number, they working together. We got form from federal government.
After 2 weeks, I received a lot of 30,000 naira from federal government.
I used the 30,000 naira to buy so many things like equipment.
The money really helped me. The next week, I went to market. I increased my business.
I thank my president who God touched to give us this such amount. I say, may God bless him.
I really thank the government, the federal government, more especially President Muhammad Buhari, because he's the one that signed the money. I am very, very grateful for them.
This is NTA News 24 Updates. Welcome. President Muhammad Buhari has formally thrown his weight behind Senator Andy Uba, candidate of the governing APC for the November 6th Anambra governorship election, urging the people to rally around him in the greater interest of the state. This was when he granted audience to the APC candidates in Abuja.
I formally welcome you with great pleasure for winning the candidature, to participate as a gubernatorial candidate of your state. I certainly wish you the best of luck, and I will very closely continue to follow you. I'm anxious for your success.
Meanwhile, 6 members of the Anambra State House of Assembly on the platform of the All Progressives Grand Alliance, HAPGA, have defected to the All Progressives Congress APC. Chairman, APC Caretaker and Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee and Yobe State Governor Mai Malabuni received the lawmakers in Abuja.
The season that promised good harvest can be known from its winter. So by mere looking at what is happening, especially now that the state assembly members have started joining, you know, the grassroots is moving. Anambra is moving.
Away from politics, the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, says there will be no unified cut-off mark for candidates seeking admission into tertiary institutions for the 2021-2022 academic session. This decision was reached at the policy meeting on admissions to tertiary institutions held virtually at the board's headquarters in Abuja.
All of them, what they have, since it's not going to be the last score, but everybody, before you can start admission, you must have disclosed your minimum.
And that was an update of the news on NTA News 24. Join us again at 1 for another one.
This is the network service of the NTA.